Blaming immigrants for the problems of Japan.
Charlie Kirk. Just starting off, it looks like there's a lot of chaos going on. Okay. I mean, it makes me nervous just thinking about it.
I was out in the Namba area of Osaka to conduct my regular interviews when I happened upon a political demonstration and its counter-protest. The following is a log of my experience.
I think this guy is wild for going right into the heart of the madness of everything that's happening here. It takes a lot of balls to do something like this, so props to this guy because you can tell his English is incredibly good. He's definitely not natively born in Japan. He's a foreigner himself. So they're saying racists go home. Okay, so it looks like what's happening here is there are two groups of people. There are the anti-racists and the racists, quote unquote. There are people marching down the street, and it looks like they're protesting against immigration to Japan. I'm sure we'll learn more about that as he interviews more. And then you have these counter-protesters that are basically doing a counter-protest saying, racists go home, to these Japanese people marching down the street. Let's keep watching. Saying radical racists. Chinese and Africans. I think that they are in the pursuit of politics that benefit their own countries. Okay, you can tell that this lady, she is the sweetest lady. Do you hear how, listen. They must not allow minorities to be on the receiving end of that. She means so well. Like, you can... She's so adorable. Look at her. So, you know, beyond her personality, I mean, she's just adorable, but she's saying we can't have hate speech in our country. That's the point that she's trying to make right now. You know, and I'm really interested to see like what both sides have to say. Let's just keep watching. It's fine to attack politicians. Ooh, they hit him? Okay, they hit his hand. Which, you know, in America, there are two different levels of like violence, right? So in Japan, doing something like that is way more violent than if you were to do it in America. If somebody were to just hit your hand, I think we see violence as something much more violent than that. But in Japan, I mean that's very disrespectful. Like, you do not do that. What was that? Hold on. They're Antifa.
わかりました。こんだけ
I
人数があるのは知らなかったです、日本で。
そうです。で、やっぱりちょっとずつやっぱり
don't know how I
外
feel
国の方が増
about
えてる
that
んで。
because this is the thing with Japanese people. They'll take a word from English, right? And I can't think of a good example off the top of my head. Maybe like pantsu. So pantsu comes from the word pants in English, which means pants, of course. But in Japanese, pantsu means underwear. So there can be translation issues, and just going around and calling people Antifa, I don't think is necessarily a good idea.
不安に思う方おると思います。僕も仕事上海外の方と接すること多いんですけど、やっぱり来てもらった方は日本語良かったなと思って帰ってほしいんで、正直気持ちは複雑ではあります。けど
Okay, so
こんなことになって
he
しまって
works
るんで、
closely with
僕は
foreigners.
平和が一番かなと思います。
今その芝木隊の方々とインタビューしてもらったんですけど、この抗議、この日本国旗を掲げている方々が人種の違う人を嫌っていると言われたんですけど、そのあたりはどう思いますか？
人種を嫌ってるんではなく、ルールを決めずに、入れてる政府に対して怒ってる。
We're angry that the government is letting people in without rules, and you should be. Like, there should definitely be rules. You can't just let anybody into your country. It will cause problems eventually. You need to have some level of rules in place if you're going to let people into the country. Now, this guy, I think he's part of the anti-racist part of the protest that's happening right now.
だけで全然海外の方はみんな大好きです。この歩いてる人らはみん
Yeah,
な
I
海
love
外の人
people.
大
I
好き
love
です。け
foreigners.
どそれを、ルールも決めずに入れてしまってる
But
政府
they're angry for letting... Okay, so he's talking about the...
に対してみんな怒ってデモしてる。移民政策反対デモなんで、政府に対してはデモです。これは外国人の方に対するデモではありません。それだけは皆さん本当にお分かりいただけたらと思います。
今の抗議デモに反対してらっしゃる理由を教えてもらえますか？
Hate.
Hate.
フェイクでフェイク。
誰に対してヘイトですか？
Okay.
主にあなた方外国人だね。
私ですか？
Okay, so this channel is called Interviewing Japan. This guy's a foreigner. This guy's just pointed it out. We know for sure now. What is Japanese people
外
first?
国人優遇。
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think that Japanese people should be putting themselves first. I don't think there's anything racist about that statement, because in America we put ourselves first. You should always put your country first before other countries, because that's your country. That's where you live. That's where your family is. That's where everybody you know lives, and you want to see your country succeed. So putting yourself first it's not a bad thing. It's not a racist thing to do.
でという際も説明してもらえますか？
日本に住んでおられる外国の方が
Okay. Foreigners living in Japan are receiving special treatment in various ways. I don't feel like I've received any special treatment, but maybe others have. Let's hear what she has to say.
されてるっていういろいろエビデンスを調べたら全然違うんですけど、日本ですごい外国の人が優遇されてるっていうデマが広がってて、それに対して怒ってまして、こっちの人らのデモはそういう煽る方のこれを風潮してる方なので反対意見で
日本は
Again, like, I haven't received any special treatment, anything I would say was special. But maybe others have. Maybe the people protesting have seen things that I haven't experienced. I don't feel like I've had anything special done for me, except for the fact that there's English written everywhere in Tokyo, and that helps me get around. But then again, I don't really speak great Japanese yet, so maybe I just haven't experienced these special benefits. Maybe they exist. I don't know.
出生率が少ない、下がっていってる。労働者が少ない
Okay,
から
this guy's making a point. Japan's birth rate.
ちょっと
If you don't know, Japan's birth rate's been going down for a long time. If it keeps up at this pace, the country's just going to keep shrinking.
移民だ だったりとかでその自分の生活を守るためにね、流れてくる人たちも自分の命を守るために、自分の人権を守るために移民制度っていうのがあるわけじゃないですか。にもかかわらずですよ、こんなことやってるわけですよ。これも社会を壊します。でしかもこの御堂筋っていうのはいろんな国籍の人が住んでる。そんな中で誰も抗議しないでああいったヘイトスピーチを垂れ流してるのは絶対に許してはいけない。だから抗議してます。
Now, I've got to take his side on this. Hate speech is not a good thing. Just like that really nice lady from earlier said. She's here to protest against the hate speech. I don't think hate speech is a good thing, and I don't think Japan's known for having hate speech. So this is interesting. I don't know what kind of hate speech that they're talking about. I have no idea. Maybe we'll find out soon, but let's keep watching. As a foreigner, it makes him worried.
僕は広がっていいと思ってます。それはちゃんと対話できるなら、ちゃんと議論ができる相手。
So he wants to have proper dialogue.
ただ、ああいうやつらっていうのはそもそも事実に基づかない陰謀論だったりとか。
Which is true. Proper dialogue should exist. You should be able to speak. One side should be able to speak to the other side and talk about it. Because right now, this is chaotic. But I know a few things that have been going on in Japanese politics that have triggered this. And I think, we're going to have to keep watching to know for sure, but I think I know what's triggered this and why everybody's acting this way. We'll see as we watch.
これはダメだから、対立を恐れずにちゃんと正しいことは正しいって言える人が増える方が僕はいいと思います。
柴木隊にメッセージお願いします。柴木隊にメッセージお願いします。
Things are gonna get heated. Okay, they're calling themselves. What was that? Let's go back a second. What did she say? Okay, she said, "Get lost, Antifa." Maybe there's something I'm not understanding. No, no, not me, not me.
もうね、日本から出てけ日本から出てけ
He told the protesters to get out of Japan. That's also their home country. Interesting message. Let's do our best together. Let's get along. It's a good message.
勉強せ。じゃあ勉強やっぱ大事なんですね。一番おすすめの本最後にもらえます。
本ね。
このレイシストの人たちに向けて。
レイシストの人たちに読んでほしい本。いや、多分ね、何読んでもダメだと思う。多分ね、ちゃんと一人一人がその自分の家庭とか、例えば愛してる人とか、もしくはその自分のコミュニティの中できっちり自分たちが言ってることが、要はすごい広い意味で言ったら、細かい意味で言ったらいじめとかそういったところに全部根ざした差別っていうのにつながってるっていうのが分かってないから、自分たちがその立場にならないと分からないかもしれないです。
Okay, the police are stopping the counter protesters right now. And the counter protesters do not know why. Right.
今の警察官なぜ邪魔してるんですか。
なんか人が多いからかな、わかんない、もうなんでかわかんない。
なんか近づいたら。
Yeah, they have no idea why they're being stopped by the police right now.
暴力は反対ね。もうでも通らせてくれない。
なんか日本ってめっちゃ平和な
This
国
is
だ
kind
な
of
と思ったんです
strange.
けど、ちょっと矛盾してるんですよね。どう思いますか。
いやめっちゃ反対してるからこうやってプロテスターになってます。
Oh, they're starting to fight?
もして自分だから通らせていいですかって聞いて。
待ってください。
いやなんで聞いてお願いで偉いさんに。うちらこんだけのために。
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They've only stopped 5 people. The police have just stopped 5 people from the counter protest. Everybody else, it looks like they've already gone ahead. So, yeah, there were like 100 people. It's so strange. Osaka police. This is happening in Osaka, by the way, if you don't know.
ちゃんと出してくれと要求する権利があるんです。誰やねん大阪っていうのほんまに大阪。警察官は合理性に基づいて警備をしなければいけません。合理的な警備をしましょう。
もう言ったでしょ。偉いさんにもう通していいですかって聞いてください。
Yeah, don't fight the police. That that would not be a good idea.
ありがとうございます。
That one guy got up in his face, and that was scary. That was hard to watch.
今日の目的っていうのはもし一つがあれば何ですか？
こいつらのデモをさせないことです。レイシストのデモをさせない。
デモ自体はダメですかね？
Right, they want to stop the
hate speech
racism,
を
stop the
ダメなん
hate
です
speech.
解
Okay, I
決策は何だと思いますか？
understand perfectly what this side stands for.
解
I
決策
really want to
相手
see
の
what
デ
the
モを
other
再生し
side
かない
has to say. Like why they're holding this protest. This guy sounds scary.
信じあがめく立てまつる心が足りていない。
Okay, we've caught back up with the
こんにちは。
main group of
今日達成
protesters.
したいこと、世界に発信したいメッセージお願いしてもいいですか？
The message you want to spread to the world. Discrimination is never
メッ
okay.
セージ、アドバイス。
差別だって何の意味もない。もう
Discrimination serves no purpose, it's simply harmful. It is true. I mean, yeah, everything she's saying is true. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, why'd they stop the 5 people earlier? I don't understand that. There are a lot of people in Japan that own megaphones. I don't know anybody that owns a megaphone in America. Wow, this is wild.
They are racist. So we are protesting.
I don't think she understood his question.
警察官がおらんかったらどうなると思いますか？
Like a war.
そう
Really? She thinks there would have been a war if the police weren't here. Yeah, this is chaotic.
向こうが差別をしているヘイトスピーチカウンタープロテストをしている市民
Counter protesting.
今この警察官がおらんかったらどうなると思いますか？
まあ騒ぎになるでしょうがそれだけ彼らは異常なデマやヘイトスピーチをしているので抗議をしていますプロテストをしてます。
They keep saying this. They keep saying that they're spreading fake rumors. I would love to hear what these rumors are, what they're
ご存
talking
知の方
about.
もいると思いますが、デマやヘイトスピーチをしている集団増えてます。でもこうやって抗議をする市民もまた少しずつではありますが増えていますし、ヘイトスピーチにこれからも反対してきますので、どうか外国人の人は安心とは言えないですけど、そういう外国人もいるということをどうか覚えておいてください。
今の状況に対して思うところを教えてください。
いや普通にまたもんじゃないよ普通に。というのもイギリスもアメリカも移民によって治安が悪くなってますと。治安が悪くなってます。
True. That is a very true statement. The UK and the US have seen a decline in public safety due to immigration. That is 100% true. You cannot just let anybody into your country. It's not a good idea.
で、同じミスを犯さないようにってイギリス人もドイツ人もフランス人もアメリカ人も言ってますと。
Do not make the same mistake. learn from us, learn from all these other countries that have gone through this already. You cannot just let anybody into the country. And I think this is leading up to what I was talking about earlier. We'll see. Japan is currently 3% immigrants. If that rises to 10% or 20%, I'm not going to say that next sentence, but if Japan goes from 3% to 10% or even 20%, and they just keep letting people in, Japan will stop being recognized as Japan. Japan is mostly Japanese. Now, I'm part of the 3% that live here. I follow all the rules. I do everything I can to be as respectful as possible, and I think I do a good job at that. I think, I get a lot of people smiling at me, and I smile back, and everything seems to be good with me because I'm respectful and polite. But not all immigrants, especially if you're letting everybody into the country just willy-nilly, which I think it's getting to the point that I was talking about earlier. We'll see if it gets there, but it's not a good idea. The country will be destroyed. For a long time, Japan didn't let anybody into the country. You couldn't even dock at the docks. You couldn't even bring your ship up, like way back in the day. And the moment that they did that, Japanese culture has not been the same. Back then, they didn't have guns. It was the samurai era. They had samurai swords. They ran around slicing each other up with samurai swords. And then one day, I forget who, but somebody showed up with guns, and they're like, hey, yo, let us in. And they let them in. And ever since that day, Japanese culture has not been the same. It's ever been changing. Like, even today, you can see it just with the clothes that they're wearing. These are Westerner clothes. These are not kimonos. Japan has changed significantly, whether for the better or for the worse. I don't want to see Japan have a foreign population of 10 or 20%. I don't want to see it. I think that immigration should be strict, and up until recently, it has been very strict. It's been incredibly hard to move to this country. There have been a lot of immigration protections to make sure that the people coming to the country are good people. And this guy's making a great point. Crime will go up. I'm not going to say all the specific crimes he just said for algorithmic reasons, but let's say you just import in 1 million people from some random country or a third world country. You're going to see more crime. It's just going to happen. It's naturally part of what it is. These people were not raised like Japanese people. They do not respect the culture. They've just been brought in by the thousands, and that's not going to be a good thing. That will never be a good thing.
どうぞ。彼はそう思わないです。ね。別に俺が海外8年いました。で、外国人大好きです。ただ、日本には日本のルールがあるし、入れるんならね。And
there he goes. He says high quality foreigners, making my point exactly. He's lived overseas. He knows, I don't know exactly where he lives, but he knows what the rest of the world's like, and it's nothing like Japan. Again, Japan was shut off from the world for the longest time. Japan is like its own ecosystem in itself that wasn't tainted by the rest of the world for a long time. This guy is just saying, hey, if we're going to let in foreigners, then we need to let in high quality ones that are going to follow the rules, ones that are going to respect Japan, the Japanese people. And I don't think, since he's part of the racist protesters, I don't think they're as racist as they're being made out to be. I've already seen a lot of stuff like this online ever since I moved to Japan. I've been seeing this stuff, and I know it just so happens to be like around the time that I moved to Japan, all this stuff starts happening. But I've seen a lot of it online, and I don't agree with everything. But the points he's making right now, I agree with completely. I don't want to see the country have 10, 20% immigrants. I don't care where they're from. They need to be high quality, respect Japanese law, respect people, and have a true love for the culture. I don't think you should be moving here if you don't have a true love for the culture, because you're not going to make it.
質のいい外国人じゃお前は。質のいい外国人をお前が判断するなよ。なあ、何が不法外国人やお前。当たり前じゃないですか。これですよ。お前が不法外国人で今回あげてみ。誰のことや。ほら。誰のことや言うてみ。
I also see that guy screaming was part of the anti-racist, right? The anti-racist group, and he's basically saying you don't get to judge what a high-quality forwarder is. I get what he's doing. I think he has a good heart. He's saying, look, we need to treat all forwarders equally, but you won't be saying that when people come over here and start just completely treating your culture like trash. You're not going to be happy with those results. They're not going to respect you, so why are you respecting them? I see both sides of the story. And now this guy's getting surrounded. This guy's been isolated. All the anti-protesters they isolated him, and now this is happening. Yeah, they are. They have surrounded this man. He's just live streaming. I think he's live streaming. They've plucked somebody out of the main protest, and now they're just. I wouldn't say attacking him, but they are crowding him. Like, I don't see anybody hitting him. They're just surrounding him and screaming at him. At least yet. Maybe that'll change. I don't want violence. I don't want to see violence. And I don't think the Japanese people are violent naturally. I don't want to speak too soon. I think I know why they're protesting. I just want to see one of them specifically confirm what I'm thinking first. So that guy's a YouTuber?
いいですか。暴力ってアウトだと思ったんですけど、今その方が10人ぐらいに囲まれて叩かれたんですよ。
彼は質のいい外国人、質のいい外国人を日本に、それは質がいいか悪いかではないので、外国人の方や移民の方は。
Trust me, you don't want other countries emptying their prisons into Japan. You can't just accept everybody. Like, your country won't be recognizable. That's how I see it. I could be wrong. Like, I could always be wrong about anything I'm saying. That's just how I feel. And I'm clearly a foreigner living here too, so my opinion doesn't really matter too much, but I don't think you should accept anybody as an immigrant. I feel like Japan lives in this world where everything's crimeless, like they're not exposed to a lot of violence, and they don't know what the rest of the world is like or what the other types of people are. Like you lose your wallet in Japan, somebody's going to turn it into the police, you're going to get it back. Everybody's kind, polite, and respectful to each other. The rest of the world's not like that. I'm not saying everybody's not like that, but a lot of the rest of the world is not like that, and they only want to take from you. Japan is such a nice country. I would hate to see that ruined.
パートナーなので、差別は許せん。で、それに対して抗議に口論になった。そうすると、相手が どっちかわかんないですけど
I also don't think
あなたじゃなかった
anybody should be getting
僕の
physical.
人
There
が暴力を振るったんですよね。
should never be
はい、
violence.
その暴力、その意見の違いがあっても全然いいと思うんですけど、暴力に対してどう思いますか？
まあそれはダメですね、どっちであっても。ただやっぱヘイトスピーチをやめろっていうのと、少なくとも僕はこう口で言い合っとったので、それは守ってほしいなっていうかなって。でどっちかというと差別者レイシストたちが暴力振るってくることが多いので、それは絶対ダメやなっていう、はい、思います。
今の状況が理解できなくて、私
普通にこれを見てどう思いますか？
普通にみんな同じように扱いすれば勝手に戦うこともないんじゃないかと思うんですけど。
Well, in a perfect world, maybe, but
今たまたま通り過ぎたんですか？
はい、たまたま。実は私も外国人でして、韓国から来ました。
Korean.
こういうの
This guy's from
前に見たこ
Korea.
とありますか？
こういうの3年目ですけど、初めて見ました。
It's your first time seeing this in 3 years. That's because this doesn't happen in Japan. This is not normal behavior at all. So that tells me something big is going on that's triggering this. Like, it's already a problem right now that a lot of tourists are coming here, doing pull-ups on torii gates, writing their name on bamboo or inside torii gates, just disrespecting Japanese culture. And it's really a small percentage of the tourists, but it's enough to make headlines every time it happens, every time somebody gets caught. There have been people getting on. There's this one kid that got on a train and he was blasting, I think it was the Nani Gatsuki song, for views on TikTok. I think he was a German guy. And that's just not acceptable in Japanese culture. You can't do things like that. You have to respect people, you have to respect the rules.
解決可能だと思いますか？
はい、可能だと思います。
解決策は教えてください。
I don't think it's racist to sit there and want to protect your own country.
考えを改めてもらうっていうことです。
今のは結構僕イギリス人ですけど、イギリスでこういった政治的グループがあって、こういったデモの日には大勢に集まって、対立するというのがあるんですけど、今のはそういう感じですか？
日本はこれでもすごくデモが多くなった方です。10年ぐらい前は
Around 10 years ago, this kind of thing never
よう
happened.
やく市民が
Last 2 or 3 years, this has been
立ち上がる
happening.
ようになったのがここ2、3年の話です。今までこんなことはなかったです。
でご自身は何らかのグループに属してるんですか？
一部入ってますけど、こういった活動はグループの活動ではなく個人でやってます。
たまたまこうなったってことですか？もちろんあっち側が、グループで集まったと思うんですけど、この反対側はどうですか？
反対側も小さなグループはあると思います。でも大きなグループはない。
Seems like the side opposing is smaller.
収まっていくと思いますか？
The what they call themselves, the anti-racists.
どんどん過激になると思います。
But again, I don't think
ヘイトは広がりやすいの
what
で
these people are doing is necessarily
ヘイトを
racist.
信じやすいんですね。だからどんどんこれから多くなると思い
Could
ます。
some of them be racist? Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I live here in Osaka from the U.S.
This guy's a foreigner. You
And I'm
can
here,
tell by his English. Yeah, he just said he's
establishing
from the
business.
U.S.
And how does it feel to see this kind of chaos in Japan, one of the most peaceful countries in the world?
Quite disappointing because it's starting to look like the U.S. kind of blaming your problems on immigrants when, especially in the U.S., the immigrants help the U.S. economy, backbone of the U.S. economy. But I think in the U.S. it's racial. Well, here too, I think that's what's going on here. They're protesting. Well, at least those of us who are on the outside of the protest, we're protesting the hate speech and the racism. And so it's the first time I ever experienced that in Japan, that kind of just blatant, racism. And so I just came, kind of give my support here.
So are you here today to support, I guess you'd call them Antifa, I'm not sure what to call them, but you'd be supporting the ones who are against the guys marching on the streets with the Japanese flag?
Yeah.
Okay. So at the start, I had them mixed up. The Antifa group is the one counter-protesting.
Against the ones who are, I guess, hating immigrants, blaming immigrants for the problems of Japan. I don't, I can kind of see where they're coming from, right? They want to keep Japan.
But
and
nothing
they wanna keep
about
the
this, nothing about the counter protest group gives me Antifa vibes. Like I think that they're just using that word because it was coined in the States, and now they're just using it to call themselves. I don't think they should do that. They should come up with their own name. That's not that's not a good idea.
Support. But I think it's kind of like the U.S. They're blaming the wrong people. The problem is not the immigrants, you know. So that's what I'm really frustrated with, is that kind of blatant racism towards immigrants, you know. But obviously, immigrants who break the law, they got to get deported, you know. But to blame all foreigners and blame all immigrants for a specific set of problems, I think is misguided.
5個会というですね団体が、差別デモをしています。今回が3回目です。最初は
So is the Antifa and the Gokokai the
次
same
は
group?
50人くらい。今回はですね
I think that's what
150
it
人が
is.
集まりました。移民
Wait,
反対
let me reread
こういっ
this.
た意見を持つ
Let's go
最
back
初
here.
は30人くらい。次は50人く
Okay,
ら
I
い。
think
今回はです
Gokokai
ね150人が集まりました。
is the
移民
main
反
group
対
protesting.
こういった意見を持つ人たちが
Anti-immigration, yeah, okay.
とても増えている。
Gokokai. I think
一
that's
気
what
に
he
増え
said.
た。私たちはそういった移民反対といったですね、排外主義に反対している、市民の、がこう集まってきて、彼らを怒ったり、周りの人に彼らは危険な考えを持っている人たちだから賛同しないようにと周知の活動をしました。
今日そんなにインタビューできなかったんですけど、右と言いますか。でも多分そっちの主張としては移民も大量に受け入れたら犯罪が増えたりとか、そういう危なさがあるので、反対しているそういう主張に対してどう思いますか？
彼らの根底にあるのは差別主義です。移民政策をどうするかという以前に彼らは外国人とか弱い立場の人をいじめたいというですね汚い根性が彼らにはあります。そういったものをベースにしているので、彼らがどのような政治的意見を持って街頭に出てきても私たちはそこにですね加害の暴力の匂いを
You know, as long as I've been in Japan, I have had one incident where somebody bullied me for being a foreigner. But it's not common.
部外者ですか？関わってないんですか？こういうのに。
Overall, I've had a great experience. Everybody's been very kind and polite.
ちょっと騒がしいかなと思
This dude just said they're noisy. They should be more considerate around people around them. That's a very Japanese thing to say.
増えていく心配ありますか？
増えていってほしくないなと思います。願ってます。
Discrimination is an embarrassment. Go to the police. You hit someone, didn't you? Okay, from everything I saw, this guy with the tank top, he did not hit anybody. And I think that they're trying to say that he can't go home because he hit somebody. I didn't see that at any point. If anything, he was surrounded by 50 people screaming and shouting at him, and the most I saw him do. Maybe it was off camera, maybe we didn't see it, but I don't think he hit anybody. You hit them, you hit them. I have it on camera. Maybe he pushed someone off him, which this guy's smiling at him. Why are you touching me? Maybe because you're up in his face. Okay, he's trying to get through and they're just not letting him. Wonder what this guy's YouTube channel is. The tank top guy. We're not a
皆
team.
さんじゃあ皆さんの蹴ったかいやいや蹴ってないよお前勝手なこと言うなよ
Why does this tank top guy keep getting like harassed? Kaido going home.
今の説明していただけますか
わからないですなんか YouTuber で
Apparently he's a YouTuber who was recording us. I mean, I think everybody has a camera. I've seen at least 500 cameras at this point.
蹴った言うてますけどなんか私が見たのはガッと掴んでガッとやってたのを見ましたあの人がね
で今帰るのを防いでいるでも今帰るのを邪魔していると
あもう帰るところなんですけど
Is this that sweet girl from earlier at the start? That sounds like her voice. Am I?
いや私もよくわからないんです
今の状況の意味ですね
たまたま私歩いてたらこの YouTuber がうちの
Oh, they're screaming now. Oh, he's up on him? Yeah, okay. He tried to push him down the stairs. All right, let's go home. Yeah, he tried to push him down the stairs. Now he's running away because that was not a good idea. Yeah, he's live streaming.
デモの人だけやのにこんな詰めてんすよ、まともじゃないよチャーリー・カークはこういう連中殺されたんですよチャーリー・カーク関係あるんやろお前と
Oh my. What does Charlie Kirk have to do
こ
with
ういう
it?
連中にやられたんですよこういう連中にやられたんですよ
お前に言わ
お
れる
前ネットを
ほら
ネットをよしだ
どっち側をの意見も取り入れるよそれだけ
OK じゃあ俺らにも聞けや
聞いているよ
And ask us too.
逆にその方が多い逆の立場の人見つけられない
OK じゃあもう逆の立場
っていうことはもうそっち側やこっち側や
オワコンやんか
もう中立だと
何の意味もない取材やめろ
逆の立場って言ったら
チャーリー・カーク
逆の立場こっち側でしょあなた
どっち側を取り入れようとしてるんですよ
ネットをよ帰れよ
ごめんなさい
どっち側の意見もですね取り入れようとしてるんですけど
いや帰ろうだよおもろない
逆の意見も取り入れようっていうことはこっち側があなたの支持ってことでしょ
関係ないです僕どっち側を公平に
You know, and so far what I've seen with both sides, I understand both sides completely. But, you know, you have the one side that say, let's stop hate speech. And I think, yes, we need to stop. Yeah, sorry. Yes, hate speech is not a good thing. I shouldn't say we because I'm just a lonely foreigner living here. But then you have the other side that's saying, look, we can't just let immigrants in. All willy-nilly. There needs to be tight only high quality immigrants should be coming here, ones that are going to respect the rules. I see both sides. I think both sides are, you know, kind of right in their own regards.
そんなこと無理
僕意見あるんですよでもこの動画では出しません
じゃあだから無理でしょ中立じゃないんでしょ
So going back to the start here, there's just one thing, and I guess we never really got to touch on it. But at the start, they were saying Africans and Chinese people. And I think the main reason that they're doing this protest right now, and I could be wrong, this is just from what I've seen, is because the Japanese government wanted to import 500,000 African people to 4 different cities. Some cities which, I mean, that would like double the population of the people there. It would almost be all Africans there. And a lot of people disagreed with this, and I can see exactly why. You have these 4 cities, you're going to double the population just by importing people to try and fix a declining birth rate problem. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's a good policy to implement. I think you should really just be allowing people that want to come here and truly have a love for Japan to come here, live here, or somehow are going to benefit the system somehow and benefit Japanese people. You can't just grab a group of a random 500,000 people and just import it into your country and think everything's going to be all right. There's going to be protests, and that's what we're seeing right here. And then they were also talking about doing the same thing with Indian people. From my understanding, the 500,000 Africans, they canceled that plan due to protests like this. And I think the prime minister even stepped down from his position because of all the backlash that he was getting. I don't know if it was specifically for that, but it was around the same time. So I'm just assuming that's kind of like one of the reasons he stepped down as the prime minister, because, they made that policy, they took it away, he stepped down, and they're still having protests today. But it seems like, as I've been watching this on social media, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know what's going to come of this, but my only fear when it comes to something like this is this becomes a big movement, and people like me who do come here and respect the rules might get hate for no reason other than just being a foreigner. Again, it's not my country. I'm a guest here. I do my best to respect everybody. But that could happen. That is a real possibility, that I get hate for things that other people have done. And that's something that I fear when it comes to, even just tourists that do bad things as tourists, that I might be seen in that light. I'm always here trying to make foreigners look good, by just being an example myself that we're not all bad, and I don't think most foreigners are bad. But if you import 500,000 people, it's not going to be good for the country. You're not going to see good things happen. Even if you're trying to fix a problem of a birth rate decline, because it's not helping your economy and your yen is slowly getting weaker and weaker, I don't think that's going to fix the problem, because you're going to create a whole bunch of other problems, a whole slew of problems. And if you keep doing it, eventually, like they said, the 10 to 20%, if right now Japan's 3% immigrants, and then in the future it's 20% immigrants, you're not going to be able to recognize your country anymore. Your people's values are going to change. Your rules are going to become more and more lenient to abide to this crazy number of foreigners. So I think I don't have a solution, but I'm just speaking from how I feel and what I've seen around the world. I don't think you should just mass import foreigners. I really think it should just be high quality ones that you allow into the country, because I don't want to see Japan turn into a bad place. It's such a nice place, such a beautiful place, such beautiful people. Even after seeing this, I think that the Japanese people are beautiful, and the way they live life is beautiful, and it's a great place to be. But that's my final thoughts